want us to look at some things, in Nigeria. Somehow, we keep clamoring for good governance. Somehow, we keep shouting, oh, this is not done, that is not done, the government is not doing well. But then, we've not asked ourselves, what is my own right? What is your right? We have a book we call Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So now, if we look at it critically, how does it impact on you? Now look at it like this. I want us to take a ride. We're going to take a ride, from the Constitution. The only thing you need to do for us is for you to share our link and subscribe so we know who we are and what we are working on. Okay, so let's look at the Constitution, the 99th Constitution of Nigeria. Now, we're going to start from chapter 2, which is a few pages away from the beginning, okay? So, I may not be, a legal expert, but let us look at it. However it is written, we are all going to understand it. Now, if we look at this Constitution, it says that the sovereignty belongs to the people, of Nigeria, from whom government, through this Constitution, derives all its powers and authority. So the powers are derived from us. That is chapter 2, paragraph 14 of the Constitution, 14A. Now, if the power is derived from us, how? Then why is that power being used to oppress me and you? And I'm the owner of the power. Then the person that is just, that is a derivative is now using that power that he derived from us to oppress us. Now, because we are not asking the right questions and we don't do the right things. And this, our brothers are aware that we don't know. So, I am urging you to begin to do the right thing because the power is from us. Now, if you move further to paragraph 15, it says, section 2 says that, section 2 says that accordingly, national integration shall be actively encouraged. Waste, discrimination on the ground of place of origin, sex, religion, status, ethnic or linguistic association or tie shall be prohibited. Look at this, place of origin. You go to some other cities, they keep telling you, oh, you are from here, you are from there. But the Constitution says that place of origin is going to be prohibited. But yet, in every form, every arrangement, academic arrangement we have, they ask you to write place of origin. Is it place of origin first or Federal Republic of Nigeria first? Because if my place of origin is first, then I will be a citizen of where I come from before you talk about Federal Republic of Nigeria. But if place of origin is secondary, then why is the federal government not taking their responsibilities correctly? I'm only asking you or telling you that we all need to be proactive. I am just trying to take my time to, run what you call constitution or constitutional review. Now, each time they say, oh, we're going to have a constitutional review. The Abuja boys, they're all looking around. Before you know it, they will gather people and say, oh, this person, even all these people now you are discriminating. You guys, oh, well, you represent here, you represent here, and that is the end. That is what they do. At the end of the day, the government will just show us pictures that, oh, there's a constitutional. How did you come about these people? Who are those reviewing the Constitution? Why are we still where we are? The book that is binding us together is faulty, or the book are carrying some faulty elements, and that is where those our brothers are thriving on. We are going to make progress. Like I said before, we need to begin to teach ourselves what they refuse to tell us, or they refuse to, let us know. Okay? Now, subsection 4 of that same paragraph 15 says, the state shall foster a feeling of belonging and of involvement among the various people of the Federation, to the end that loyalty to the nation shall override sectional loyalty. Now, look at it like this. If the federal government undermines a section of citizens, and these people now begins to show their loyalty elsewhere, now the question is, are you going to blame the citizens, or are you going to blame the federal government? This is simple. The Constitution says that the state of nation will foster a feeling of belonging. You and I have been in this system for some time now. The president of Mohamed Buhari came and gave one-sided appointment to the people of a particular section because he feels he's from there. Then you are discussing that this is an integration, that everybody has to be together. And one person come from one unit and decide that his own people are the best, just for you to satisfy them, you want to make a statement, because no. While I was going through the Constitution, there's what you call federal character. What is federal character? Federal character starts from the beginning. It's telling you here that everybody is integrated into one unit, and there's no hard feelings. Like what I discussed with you before talks about there is no, they talk about state of origin or religious status, your ethnicity, your language and all that should be discouraged, prohibited. Prohibition is the word that is used. I'm not a grammarian. I am not your legal expert, but I am just trying to interact with my people now. Now let us actually look at this thing, because they use so much big grammar, very large ones, unquantifiable, undescribable. They use them to razzmatazz our head, and at the end of the day, we don't even know, we cannot, comprehend totally what it means. Now, somehow, this is us. We are here, we are suffering it together, so we are going to discuss it one by one. Now, if you move down to the section 5 of that paragraph 15, it says that the state shall abolish all corrupt practices. But the state has been encouraging all corrupt practices. You can use this here. And I can count 1,000,001 things from different states of this federation that the state has been harboring. We are looking at the Nigerian state. And you see, until we agree that we want this system to move forward, we are not going to move anywhere. So now, if I leave you there, let us go to something else. We are looking at same chapter 2, paragraph 16 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Section 1 says that the government of Nigeria is supposed to harness the resources of the nation and promote national prosperity and efficient, dynamic, and self-reliant economy. Maybe we are not understanding ourselves. Maybe the grammar or English, the grammar is too cumbersome for us to understand. Maybe we are going to move a motion that this book should be reprinted in simple English so that everybody will understand it. You know, the federal government of Nigeria is supposed to harness our resources. We all know what, we mean by harness. I remember there was a video I saw in the Senate House. They asked somebody what is harness, and the person was dancing up and down. I don't know if it is a clone video or if it's a real video, but for me, I understand that harness, harmonization, reconciliation, or whatever you want to, however, may all fall in the same picture. But if the federal government is supposed to harness our resources, then what has happened to our resources? Because I want to tell you that in recent time, for the past 10 years, we don't even hear anything about our resources. Nobody talks about our resources anymore. Okay, this is done. Nobody talks about our resources anymore. And the point is that we are supposed to be self-reliant economy. Are you sure that Nigeria is self-reliant economy? Since for some time now, I am not supposed to speak, against anybody. I'm talking about us. But I tell you that since the APC government took over what do you call it? Since APC government took over the government. Sorry, 1 minute, let me come back. So, as I was telling you, young man, the point is that we are supposed to be a self-reliant economy. Why is it that the citizens are not asking the government of Nigeria that why are we not self-reliant? What do you mean by self-reliance? I have heard us borrow I don't know how many times that this government has been borrowing. Did you borrow? You just borrow and you keep borrowing. Hallelujah. Are you sure we are together? We just keep borrowing, and we continue to borrow. Does it mean that Nigeria as an entity, we are no longer reliant on ourselves, that we are no longer doing anything, to ourselves? We are no longer, we are not dependent. Come on. I don't understand. Well, I'm giving us this, so all of us should come back and begin to understand that we are the problems of ourselves. Now, everybody, do you know what we do? The moment you can